Chairs No Waiting, episode number 342, Mountain Omens and Superstitions, number 2. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and check out some of the new stuff they've got. I know it's still summer, and you can get a Mayberry Athletic Department t-shirt, but guess what? There's a sweatshirt too. You can wear the sweatshirt on top of the t-shirt this winter. So you'd really be showing your Mayberry spirit. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check those out. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. Thank you for your support. Hello, everybody. I'm Alan Newsom, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting, and it is great to be back this week. If you guys follow along when we're live and actually are being able to listen to these shows as they come out, you will know that last week there was no episode. Sadness all around. I didn't get to spend any time in Mayberry with you guys, and I am so glad to be back now to just have some fun. Now we've been having some fun because we did an episode back on number 336 called Mountain Omens and Superstitions. And we're going to revisit that. Well, not revisit it. Talk about more of it because I probably got more feedback about those episodes than I've gotten in a long time because people seem to really enjoy those. And I did too. And one thing I did notice is as I went through the episode, because I listened to it later, afterwards, I listened to it, I realized that while I always have a Southern accent, I don't pretend not to because I am from Alabama. During that episode, the accent continued to get stronger and stronger as I read the superstitions. So if you didn't hear that, you might want to go back and check it out. Episode number 336, Mountain Omens and Superstition. I guess that would be number 1 now, because this episode we're going to do a number 2. We're going back to see that again. Mountain Omens and Superstitions, number 2. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed it the first time. And if you didn't, hang on till the end because we got some other stuff I want to show you where folks have sent in some stuff, and hopefully we'll have plenty of time. So let's get some nice, mountain omenishing, however you'd say that, type background music going. There we go. From the VW Boys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, VW Boys, for allowing me to use their music. And now let's head over to Mountain Omens and Superstitions Part 2. Now, some of these I may have read last time, but I felt like they were important. So let's go into some healing ones first, okay? So these are some stuff I got from Briscoe Darling himself, the Darling family. They provided these to me. So this one's for healing. So if you're feeling sick or something, you might want to listen to these. All right, if you eat snow, okay? If you eat snow before the 3rd snowfall of the season, it'll make you sick, okay? So don't do that. Don't eat snow before the 3rd snowfall of the season or you'll get sick. Didn't know that. That's a new one. You guys may have known these things. I didn't know this. These are important. You're learning things here in Mayberry. Buzz Fluhart, he was all over these kind of things. All right, next up. If you dream about crossing water, there will be an illness in your family. Didn't know that. If you dream about crossing water, if you dream about it, there will be an illness in the family. Important to know that. I didn't know that. I don't remember if I've had any dreams about crossing water. I probably will now. That's great. All right, next. To get rid of the chills, if you have the chills, tie a string around a persimmon tree. There you go. If you live near the woods, that'll be easier than it is if you live in a town. But if you get rid of the chills, tie a string around a persimmon tree. There you go. All right. Let's keep this going. If you sweep under the bed of a sick person, oh my gosh. If you sweep under the bed of a sick person, that person will die. So don't be sweeping under the beds of any sick people. I got to make sure that doesn't happen to me. That's what I've got to do if I get sick. All right, so now I'm worried about, eating that snowfall because we don't get 3 or 4 snowfalls around here. If we just usually get 1, and I'll probably be eating that snow. No wonder. All right, let's keep going here. If your hand itches, It means someone will give you a present soon. Ah, there you go. If your hand itches, it'll mean somebody is going to give you a present soon. That's a good one. For snake bites. Oh, this is rough. For snake bite, cut up the snake that bit you and press its flesh into the wound. Wow, this will draw out the poison. Is that true? Does anybody know that? If I got snake bit, I don't think I'm going to have the presence of mind to catch the snake. I don't think I am. You know, okay, but if you do, if you get snake bit and you have the presence of mind, you know, to catch it and then cut it up and put it on the wound, it'll draw out the poison. I didn't know that. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get snake bit. All right, next up, raw wet tobacco will draw venom from an insect sting. Now that is true. These are not omens. What is that? That's not a Mountain Omen or superstition. That's true. Wet tobacco, raw wet tobacco, not this processed, red man tobacco or something, will draw venom of an insect sting right out. It'll make it quit hurting. It works. Done that. My granddad did that. All right, next up, luck. Now, I think I may have done this one before, but I thought it was important, so I'm going to read this one more time. It's bad luck to put shoes in a box, back in the box, before you wear them. Don't do that. It's bad luck. Don't do that. All right, some other luck here for Henry Winkum, Blinkum, Nodimus Rex. Protect us all from the man with a head. All right, we're safe. All right, if you put a shirt on wrong side out, it's good luck. I do that all the time. Didn't know it was good luck. All right, but if you have someone wait a minute. But if you have to get someone to turn it inside out for you, oh, I see. If you put it on wrong side out, it's good luck. But if you have to get someone else to turn it inside out for you, your luck will change. So I guess that means you'd get bad luck. If somebody else has to take it off of you and put it back on for you, that hadn't happened to me in a long time. You know, nobody takes my shirts off and puts them back on for me. Huh. All right. So anyway, don't let that happen to you. Don't let your mom come and pull your shirt off and flip it around for you. All right. It's bad luck to sneeze at the table. I knew that one. Because your mom will hit you. That's why it's bad luck. She'll spank your hand for doing that. All right. If you wear an opal, it's bad luck unless it's your birthstone. There you go. So it's bad luck to wear opals unless that happens to be your birthstone. If you sweep after the sun goes down, you'll never be rich. That's another good reason for me not to sweep. Because it could be sundown. It doesn't say where the sun had to go down. All right. It's bad luck to watch a friend leaving if you continue watching until the person's completely out of sight. It's bad luck. Don't do that. If a black cat crosses your path, it's bad luck. Unless the cat crosses from right to left. I didn't know that last part. I did not know that was... It's bad luck if a black cat crosses your path. Now, I've always heard that. Unless the cat crosses from right to left. See? You got to know the whole story. Because, you know, if one crosses right, it's like a horse going east to west. You know, that's different than if it's going north and south. A white horse with a black rider on a white horse, it's different. All right. Next up, it's bad luck to run backwards. Well, I don't know if that's an omen, but it's because you'll run into stuff. Because you're going backwards and running. That's not a good idea. But it is bad luck, so don't do that. All right, so here's some love stuff. Okay, y'all ready? All right, if you swallow a chicken's heart, if you swallow a chicken's heart, you will win the hand of the one you love. If you're desperate enough, you know, I guess, do you have to swallow the whole heart? If you swallow a chicken's heart, you will win the hand of the one you love. Boy, you know, that makes, I wonder what the darlings, I wonder if Dud had to do that for Charlene. Huh. Make a good story. All right. Name a fishing hook after the person you love. And if you catch a fish with the hook, it means the love is true. Oh, that's good. So if you name a fishing hook after the one you love, Jan, if I named it Jan and I catch a fish with it, it means the love is true. That's interesting. All right. Ooh, this one's a good one. I'd like to see Zsa Zsa Gabor do this. All right. If you marry, you will marry as many people as the number of seeds that will stick to your forehead. Oh boy, there's a lot of people with bunches of seeds pop up on their, I wonder, don't lay in a bunch of sesame seeds because then you'd be in trouble. All right, so you're going to marry as many people as the number of seeds that'll stick to your forehead. If you had a great big forehead, yeah, Herman Munster, he'd have a lot of wives. All right, if you put a 4-leaf clover in your shoe, you will marry the first person you meet. Oh, I don't think I wouldn't do that. I'm married, but if I wasn't married, I wouldn't do that because, what if you met somebody, what if you didn't want to marry them? That'd be bad. All right. So 4-leaf clover in your shoe, you'll marry the first person you meet. If a girl takes the last piece of bread from a plate, she'll be an old maid. There's probably some old wives' tale about this. If a girl takes the last piece of bread from a plate, she'll be an old maid. Yeah, that's because she's eating all the time or something. She's probably fighting her brothers over the food. I don't know. All right, it's bad luck to bathe on your wedding day. Oh, my goodness. That one, let me mark that one out here. I don't want to, let's don't spread that rumor. It's bad luck to bathe on your wedding day. Don't believe that one. Don't believe it. I'm not going with that one. All right. Wednesday is the best day to get married. Wednesday. Who know that gets married on a Wednesday? But it says Wednesday is the best day to get married except in May. It doesn't say when in May's what day is good, but Wednesday is the best day to get married. Sunshine on the wedding day means a happy marriage. I've heard that. If your lips itch, it means you want to be kissed. Boy. Yeah, my lips are itching. I shouldn't have thought about that. If your lips itch, it means you want to be kissed. All right, all right. Now, these I'm fixing to do here, folks, these are not Mayberry-ish. These are kind of scary. So, these are bad luck. Bad, and it has to do with dying. Okay? Now, I don't like this one, but just so you be warned, if you rock an empty cradle, the baby will die. But if it's empty, there's no baby in there, so I'm not quite sure. But if you rock an empty cradle, the baby will die. Ooh, that's morbid. All right, next. Let's just go right on from that one. If your ears are ringing, oh my goodness. If your ears are ringing, you are hearing the death bells, and a friend will pass away. If your ears are ringing. See, these are kind of spooky. We need to read these at Halloween, okay? All right, if you cut your hair in March, oh my gosh. If you cut your hair in March, this is not good from a barber's perspective. This is terrible. But if you cut your hair in March, you will die that year. That's not true. Floyd Lawson says that. That's not true. That's not true. You can get a haircut every week. That's right, Floyd. All right. It's bad luck for a new bride to meet a funeral procession. It's bad luck for a new bride to meet a funeral procession. Just remember that one. Didn't know that. A bird flying out of a house of sickness means the patient will die. A bird flying out of a house of sickness. I guess if somebody's sick in the house and a bird flies out of it, means the patient will die. What's a bird doing in your house? I don't have usually birds. I have a bird, but he's in a cage, not just flying around. All right. If a broken clock suddenly strikes, it's a sure sign of death. Yeah, because it's going to scare you. Because why is a broken clock striking? It's like a ghost or something is around? Yeah. That's why that's probably where that came from. All right. Broken clock suddenly strikes. It's a sure sign of death because it'll scare you to death, I think. If you see a shooting star, a friend will die. Well, I thought that was supposed to be good luck. Boy, these are morbid here. All right. If a dog howls at night, it means that somebody in the household will die soon. Well, dogs howl at night all the time. I don't believe these. If you suddenly shudder, if you suddenly shudder, it means a rabbit has run across your grave. So if you shudder, means a rabbit ran across your grave. I guess where you would be buried. All right. If somebody dies, stop the clock until the next day, or else someone else in the house will die. So if somebody dies, stop the clock until the next day, or someone else in the house will die. It's bad luck to point at a graveyard. To point at it. I didn't know that. So, boy, I bet I've done that before. All right. So let's go on to something a little better. Spirits here. All right. The horseshoe hung over the door keeps witches and evil spirits away. I think I told you that last time. All right. But if you want to keep a witch out of your house, I don't remember if I told this or not, but I thought it was important. If you want to keep a witch out of your house, lay a broomstick across the doorstep. That's a good one. Yeah, it's easy to do as well. All right. One more. I got a whole bunch more, but let's just do one more tonight. All right. A snakeskin bag with a toad's eye inside will ward off ghosts. Now, I may have done these last time. I can't remember. But like I said, these are important. Well, we had all those spooky ones about death. These are keep that stuff from going on. A snakeskin bag with a toad's eye inside will ward off ghosts. I don't know where you get a toad's eye. And I guess if you caught that snake earlier that bit you and you held it on your arm where it bit you or something, I guess you could use it for the snakeskin bag. You can make one. That'd be good. All right. So, folks, those are some serious mountain omens and superstitions for you. I hope you enjoyed those. I know I did. I didn't like some of those about death and stuff, but I did like them. So let's have a little bit more some fun stuff here. So I'm going to change our background music over a little bit. There we go. Something fun. All right. So, folks, I got some feedback from folks. One of them was from Goober Fife. He wrote me. And I may do a whole podcast episode about this if I get enough stuff. But until then, we're going to just talk about this. Goober says, because we were talking about some characters that looked alike and stuff. He says to us, while we're on the subject of look-alike characters, I've always thought that bully Steve Quincy, you remember him? Dopey Opie. Remember him? Dopey Opie. Steve Quincy. I've always thought that the bully, Steve Quincy, looked like he belonged to Alan Melvin's character, Fred Plummer. Maybe his son. So, Fred Plummer is trying to beat up Barney. And Steve Quincy. Those characters, not the actual actors themselves, but could Steve Quincy have been Fred Plummer's long-lost son? Both are bullies. Thought that might be nice. He also went on to say, if Mr. Swamp, we all know Mr. Swamp, had a grown-up kid, if Mr. Swamp had a kid that grew up, he'd look like Jerry Mathers, the beaver. I'm going to post a few pictures on our Facebook page so you guys can check this out. You can see what Mr. Swamp and Beaver himself from Leave It to Beaver, Jerry Mathers, grown up, what he looks like. And you can see what Fred Plummer, Alan Melvin, and Steve Quincy, who was played by Scott McCarter. You can see all those guys on our Facebook page and check out what you think. Do they look alike? And you know what? They do. They do. So just picture them in your mind if you hadn't had a chance to head over there and look. And you can see them when you get there. All right, we got another little piece of email here. Now, this is just a nice one that we got from, this is from Matt Bennett. Matt Bennett's one of our listeners. I want to thank Matt for listening here to the podcast. He actually wrote me after Mayberry Night in Troy, which I was talking about to our live group here a few minutes ago. He says, this is Matt, says, "Hey, Alan, it was a pleasure to finally get to meet you. I came up to you and introduced myself before the event as one of your podcast listeners." He did, and I really appreciate that. If you ever see me at an event, I would love for you to come up and talk to me like that. He said, "I just wanted to say that you guys did a fantastic job." He's talking about Mayberry Night at Troy, North Carolina. We just did that. It's to raise money for the DARE program of Montgomery County, North Carolina. And it's always a great event. So if you ever get a chance to go to that, it's always in August. And you can find it if you go to the imayberry.com website and then click on the events calendar. You'll always find all the events that are going on, and that was a recent event that just ended, so it's not on there now, but it was on there before. But it was in Troy, North Carolina, a great event. Here's what he went on to say. He said, we did a fantastic job. I appreciate that. He said, the event format reminded me just a little of what it was like growing up watching the Hee Haw Show. Just good, clean humor, fun skits, and great musical performances by Rodney Dillard and Maggie Peterson. I've been a longtime fan of the Andy Griffith Show, but this was my first time at one of those events. Great to see all the tribute artists, and of course, a treasure to experience Rodney and Maggie live in person. Thanks for all your efforts in helping keep the Mayberry legacy living. Hope to see you at a future event. Best, Matt Bennett. So, Matt, thank you for taking the time to write in. Folks, it's always amazing and wonderful for me to actually hear from you guys, and to meet you guys is even more fun because you come up to me at some of these events, and it's always just so fun to actually put a face to a name that I see that's coming across. A lot of times we have people in the chat room. I've met a lot of them now, and it's just always so fun to actually see them live at events rather than just in chat rooms or people that are on the digest or people who listen here on the podcast. It's always great to actually get to see and meet you. So, folks, if you ever get to go to one of the events, be sure to come up and tell Floyd you said hey, because I would love to hear from you guys. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415 and let me know what you think about it. Tell me. You can talk to me. It's great. You can also email me at floyd@imayberry.com, or you can drop by twochairsnowaiting.com and leave a message there. However you'd like to talk to me, I would love to hear from you. And folks, I hope you enjoyed these omens and superstitions, and I hope you'll take care. Keep a buckeye in your pocket so things will go good for you. And until next time, folks, we'll see you right back here in Mayberry. Y'all have a great Mayberry week, and I'll see you then. Bye.